While watching the plants in glee when you water them, have you ever wondered where that water comes from? When the clouds vent their anger upon us by means of the gushing rain, have you ever wondered where that water comes from? One can keep asking plethora of questions, but the answers to all these questions lies in a simple cycle, the water cycle. Water gets evaporated from water bodies due to the heat from the scorching sun. Plants lose water from their aerial paths by the process transpiration. Then condensation leading to the formation of clouds which falls down upon the earth as a blessing, as precipitation accompanied with the petrichor. Now how does one keep track of all the rain that we receive? Different portions of the earth receive variable amount of rain depending on seasons, winds, humidity and orographic conditions.
So, how can we measure the amount of rainfall and its duration? Well, we use an instrument called the rain gauge. Simon's rain gauge is one of the non-recording type of rain gauge in India. It is constructed with a funnel which can measure about 1.25 cm of rain, and during heavy rains the funnel is measured over 3 to 4 times per day. And now it's time to get to know about the other group of classification. Floating type rain gauge involves a floating chamber on which rain is collected and a siphon chamber. And most importantly, this type of rain gauge is preferred by the Indian Meteorological Department.
In this rain gauge, the rainwater is collected in the floating chamber through the funnel. A float is provided at the bottom of the container and the float rises as the water level rises in the container. Its movement being recorded by a pen moving on the recording drum actuated by a clockwork.
The one that is found in our own campus is the tipping bucket rain gauge. The construction of this type of rain gauge involves a cylindrical receiver with a funnel inside. To be more particular, a pair of tipping buckets is pivoted below the funnel. Once when one of the two buckets receive a rainfall of 0.25 mm, it tips and empties into the tank below. And at this point, the other tipping bucket takes charge and the process is repeated. By this time, you might wonder, how does a pen move on a chart that is wrapped around a drum? As the name suggests, the tipping of the bucket actuates an electric circuit which causes the pen to move on a chart.
Water storage. Water storage is a broad term referring to storage of both potable water and non-potable water. It is stored in both natural reservoir and artificial construction like dam, tanks, etc.
Infiltration. Infiltration is the process by which water on the ground surface enters the soil. Infiltration rate is a measure of rate at which soil is able to absorb rainfall or irrigation. It is measured in inches per hour or millimeters per hour. The rate decreases as the soil becomes saturated. If the precipitation rate exceeds the infiltration rate, runoff occurs.
Runoff means the draining or flowing off of precipitation from a catchment area through a surface channel enter into a stream channel. It occurs when the soil is saturated by water to its full capacity and no longer sufficiently infiltrate in the soil. Runoff can be classified as overland flow, surface runoff, interflow, groundwater runoff, direct flow, base flow, etc. Factors affecting runoff are precipitation characteristics, shape and size of catchment, topography, geologic characteristics, meteorological characteristics, storage characteristics of a catchment, etc. Crop water requirement. Depth of water needed to meet the water loss through evapotranspiration. Crop water requirement for some of the major crops are: onion requires 350 to 550 mm, banana 1200 to 2200 mm, brinjal 1285 mm, whereas dry harvested crops such as millets requires less quantity of water. Apart from temperature and sunshine, factors such as wind speed, humidity will also influence the crop water requirement, because during dry season crops require more water than when it is humid.
Drought is a prolonged dry period in the natural climate cycle that can occur anywhere in the world. It is caused due to the lack of precipitation resulting in water shortage. Drought can have a serious impact on health, agriculture, economics, energy and the environment.
As the master species, we humans must take it as a responsibility to save water, because life without water is unimaginable. Who knows, there might even be World War III for water. And look at the irony of the situation. Water, where life first began, would be the same reason for it to end. So the next time you brush your teeth or wash your clothes, don't forget to close the taps.
மழை வண்ணமில்லாமல் நீரிலிருந்து ஆவியாக கிளம்பி மேகத்தை கருநிற வண்ணமாக மாற்றி மின்னல் மின்னி இடி இடித்து ஊசி போல் மண்ணில் மழையாய் பொழிகிறது. வண்ணமில்லா ஒன்று மழையாய் பொழிந்து மண்ணெங்கும் பரவி மண் அடிவரையில் சென்று கொண்டு வந்து சேர்த்த வண்ணம் கண்ணிற்கு குளுமையான பச்சை. மழையே, உமக்கு நன்றி.